This is Behind the Mic with Brad Dalius.
Behind the Mic is back, and we are live from Patrick Malloy's Beach. Keith Jackson coming to you on this Tuesday night, July the 17th, 2018. Back after a 2-week hiatus. Back after a crazy World Cup finale, Keith. A lot of stuff going on in Major League Baseball. We have the All-Star game tonight from D.C. LeBron James is officially a Los Angeles Laker. The first time we've been on the air since all of that drama went down. Back on July the 1st. It's great to be back. We got a stacked show for you. Take a quick note here at the top. We have a new show now, 1 hour, 7 to 8 p.m. Pacific time, Tuesday through Thursday. That 1 hour kind of gets us going here on a routine before we officially move over. Less than 3 weeks now from today, Keith. The big move over to KBC Radio, 790 AM here in L.A., over at their Culver City studios on August the 6th. That's when we get things going in just a couple of weeks. So once again, Monday, August the 6th, the premiere of Behind the Mic live on 790 AM KBC Radio here in L.A. But for tonight and up until then, Tuesday through Thursday, 7 to 8 p.m. Pacific time at BehindTheMicShow.com and also on that Behind the Mic Show app. Streaming live right now on Facebook, YouTube, and Periscope. Coming to you in crystal clear high definition, Keith, all across the board.
Looking good, man. It's a great time. It's an exciting time for sports right now. Exciting times for Behind the Mic, of course. And, it's just great to see what's going on. The moves that's been made in the sports world, as well as the moves that's been made for Behind the Mic for Brad Dalius. So let's get to it.
Let's do it. We'll kick it off with the All-Star game going on right now. The American League up 2-1. As far as the representatives from the Angels, of course, Mike Trout starting tonight in center field. Matt Kemp starting for the National League out in left field. Matt Kemp, I was just talking to you right before the show tonight, Keith. His first at-bat absolutely crushes a double down along the left-hand side. Goes all the way to the wall. Just another great at-bat for him. Obviously showcasing to the entire world what he's done so far in this first half of the season for the boys in blue. And, the big thing tonight is how they put up a graphic on Fox at the top of the telecast that it's tied right now. I don't know if most people know this, 43 and 43. 43 wins all time for the AL and 43 for the NL. Two ties. We all know one that we all lived through back in 2002 in Milwaukee. And the stats are almost identical across the board in all kind of different categories. So that was a very interesting stat that Fox put up at the beginning of the game. But this game tonight obviously is about the National League trying to score a couple runs. I mean, the American League, Keith, has won 5 consecutive All-Star games. Yeah. They've dominated in recent memory. And right now the American League pitching seemingly is doing their job holding down the National League batters. You had Chris Sale stand out for the Boston Red Sox, started this game on the mound for the AL, and he was opposed by the hometown boy, Max Scherzer, for the Nationals. So a great pitching matchup, and that's the big story for me as far as the National League goes, is trying to score more runs. And for the American League, it's all the star power in the outfield, Keith. Yeah. I mean, Mookie Betts, Aaron Judge, the list goes on. They're just star power, young guys.
And you would think those guys, they're heavy hitters as well. So you would think they would get a lot at bat this upcoming year and stuff. I don't know. I'm thinking this would probably be a competitive All-Star game, this game right here. I don't know. Right now,
it's been that way. Yeah, so
far it's been that way. And, we'll see how it pans out. But I think it will be a competitive one this year because of just the star power the American League had this past season with the moves and things they've made. So we'll see. We'll definitely see. But you know what thing is like highlighting me the most?
Yeah.
Bryce Harper winning the home run derby.
That was awesome to see.
I just don't understand that he hasn't been doing well this season hitting the ball, but you win the home run derby. Like, how is that?
That's funny right now. I didn't actually see it live. I was flying back from the East Coast, and I saw the highlights when I got in last night here in L.A., but nothing beats the guy who it's in his home park, in his hometown actually, growing up there.
Yeah.
He's from Vegas originally, but he somewhat grew up in Washington. At least that's how they're putting it out there to the public. And, yeah, it was awesome to see the highlights and him. You're right. It's like the opposite because some of the criticism today is on the guys of – well, actually, it's split. There's some criticism at the same time that people can understand. I just talked about a moment ago, Judge, Stanton, those guys electing, and Mike Trout too, electing to sit out the home run derby. We've seen this in recent years. A lot of times guys don't want to screw up their swing heading into the second half of the season. Yeah. People get into those funks and different things like that. But like you said, it's almost like the opposite here. A guy who is playing his worst of his career absolutely turns it on in the home run derby. So who knows, right?
Yeah, who knows?
Any given night. That's the beauty of it sometimes.
Any given night, and I'm guessing that the Nationals have to be excited because they're like, yes, Bryce Harper has returned, and hopefully he can turn around the second half of the season.
Well, you know who was loving that last night, right?
Who? Who was loving that?
His agent.
Oh, of course. Ching, ching.
Absolutely. Let's pass out the dollars. No, obviously we all know he's going to be in for a big payday. It was looking like it wasn't going to be as much as it was originally going to be, based off of the slump like we talked about. But, you know, that can change on a dime.
Yeah. And that's what it did.
Right, exactly.
It definitely changed on a dime. But, look, it's been a great event that's been going on out there. And, you know, it's what I've actually been following, like, for a little, you know, because usually I watch the home run derby.
Yeah.
And the game, I may just dabble here and there, that type of thing. You know, it's like, this is like a time where it's like, some people, it's like a hiatus for sports for a second.
Yes.
And then come back because of the World Cup came, because I was all into the World Cup.
I know you were. What'd you think of that final?
France. I just couldn't believe Brazil. I picked them. You know, I picked them, and they fumbled, and it was a great. I put it like this: 2 underdogs back in the final. I mean, what more can you ask for? That's it. That's a unpredictable final, and you got France. That it's good France though. You know, it was good to see that. I would love to see France versus England though.
Ooh, that would have been classic. There's a couple of matches that would have been really good in the final.
Yeah. But
I was kind of rooting. I was rooting for Croatia. This team never won.
They never won. But hey, like, look.
It's been a long time since France won, though.
Yeah, it's a long time. And they got there. Croatia got there. France got there to the top. They weren't supposed to be there with all the heavy hitters of Germany. Germany out. Brazil out. Mexico out. Belgium went out. Like, there were some real heavy hitters in there that it was like, Sweden went out.
Yep.
Like, there was some teams there that went. Uruguay. There's a lot, but I can go down the list. But it was great to see, like.
What was the ultimate highlight for Keith Jackson of this World Cup? What are we most going to remember about it?
Oh, and the most memorable moment in the World Cup to me is 2 of them. Sweden, I think it was Germany. Hitting a goal.
Yes, that was great.
That was great. And it was an indirect kick, hitting a goal in on an indirect kick to win the game, and that was like in seconds. Then, of course, the Mexico saga.
Oh, that was phenomenal. That was awesome.
Of them, you know, they lose, and then everybody on their on their phones checking Twitter. That just tells you, like, Twitter is very popular in different countries as well. You know, and checking their Twitter, and they're like, oh my God, we lost the game. But then, they're all celebrating because they thought they won. They're advancing, and then they were waiting for a goal to, you know, be basically confirmed from the officials, and then they thought they lost again, and then everybody celebrated at the end of the game. So that was like them advancing. To me, was also a great moment. So
classic,
cracking moments.
Great World Cup. Just drama across the board, and obviously so many people talking about
Cristiano Ronaldo leaving.
Yeah, that was a little surprising too.
That was surprising.
Almost, and the timing of it.
Yeah, and he got some critical. He waited. He waited. It was like quick. I lost. I'm out. and I'm going to leave the team as well.
Left no doubt. I would have waited, personally. I would have waited.
Yeah.
What's the rush? I would have waited a little bit. But I don't think anyone was more excited about the French victory than the French president, Macron.
Yeah.
You see that guy? I mean, that guy was celebrating like crazy. He was super pumped.
Yeah, he was.
Super pumped.
And it's good to see those guys when they're like celebrating.
Yeah, I know.
Nuts.
So everyone got into it. It was a great World Cup across the board. I mean, honestly, it couldn't have been much better. It really couldn't have been much better.
Yeah, it was a great World Cup, man.
Yeah.
It was a great World Cup. And we'll see what happens, man. I think it's going to be a good time, man, to see what they do. We'll see what comes up next. The women's come up in 2020, I believe.
Yeah.
Was it 2020? Yeah, 2020. 2020, 2 years.
Looking forward to it.
USA's in it. About time.
About time is right. We're in dire need of them to come back. There hasn't been a bigger advocate for that than yours truly, as we all know. So World Cup, ultimate success. What could also be a big success, Keith, is the Dodgers' second half of the season. A couple of representatives in tonight's All-Star game. We talked about just a moment ago Matt Kemp starting for the Boys in Blue tonight in D.C. out in left field. They're also represented by Kenley Jansen out of the bullpen, Ross Stripling for pitching as well. And as far as the Angels go, Mike Trout obviously is the representative out there. I mean, the best player in baseball. Not much of an argument on that, in that regard. But as far as the Dodgers go, big second half coming up, obviously, after all the All-Star festivities are over. And what could really jumpstart that would be acquiring one Manny Machado, who has been undoubtedly the hottest commodity right now in the trading block.
That's a huge pickup for the Dodgers, especially they're trying to make a run and they're trying to catapult their team to get over top. Look, the Dodgers' only goal is to win the World Series. There was one game away from winning it all.
Yep. And
that embarrassment loss, though. But they were one game away, and they want to get back to that. I mean, there's only one way they can shoot is that's to the top. They've done it all. So they put themselves in a great position right now in where they're seated. And
the key thing is they didn't get buried, right?
Yeah, and that was a key. Like, we were worried about that.
Yes.
We were worried. Everybody was worried about that, including, Dodger fans, of course, was worried about the fact that they were sinking, and it was like, was this just a Cinderella team? And they put it together. I think it was, like we said, I think they were just on a little vacation of too long. And they finally woke up.
Something like that.
Well, kudos to Matt Kemp. The fact that he can come out, he was a person that was basically trade bait, a bonus, or whatever you want to call it. We weren't expecting anything from Matt Kemp, really. And today, we are watching Matt Kemp in an All-Star game. And to be one of the key components in the Dodgers' success this year.
It's easily one of the best. He's going to win Comeback Player of the Year.
He has
if he keeps this up, he's got to do it. Even with what he's done so far this season, arguably that's enough to win it. But not only is he probably going to win that ultimately, Keith, when the season's over and done with, but he may have become one of the greatest recipients of that award.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I can't think of any player. We've had players who've had great comebacks, who've had down years, and that come back a year or two later and just turn it on and make great cases for their team and for the respective division there and whatever the case may be. They just really boost everything around them. But what he's done this year in 2018, Matt Kemp for the Dodgers team is truly unbelievable, and just haven't seen anything like it in recent baseball memory. So it's been phenomenal to watch up close and personal, and the train just keeps on rolling, baby.
Yeah,
it just keeps on rolling. It's not done yet here in 2018. It just keeps on going.
It absolutely does. It keeps rolling, and you got to look at it like this. I think with Machado coming in, they got to be probably the most talented team in the National League. I mean, look, you still got some tough teams in there, but in the National League alone, like, you're looking at them and maybe on paper, I'm saying on paper they are probably the most talented team. But I mean, you got the Phillies are playing well, and you got Atlanta Braves. Are they doing?
Phillies were in the Machado sweepstakes all the way down. It was really according to the USA Today, it was really between the Phillies and the Dodgers at the end. Milwaukee was in there for a period of time, but the Phillies were.
Machado was like, I'm going to L.A., man.
L.A. sells itself.
Just like LeBron James.
We'll get into that a little bit, too. But everyone wants to come to L.A. right now, Keith.
Well, yeah,
it's a spot to be.
but we all know that. I mean, it was a place. It's the place to be. It was just a matter of our sport teams really getting themselves together in order to acquire these players and things like that. So it is a hot bid. It's one of the places to be. Look, it's 71 degrees. What is it, 73? Oh, it's 75 right now. We're at the beach.
Not too bad.
You drive the other night. Look, it was like 77, and it was 9 o'clock, and people were still on the beach just laying out.
I heard we had a big warm spell here.
Yeah, we definitely did.
Yeah.
We had a warm spell. And look, when I got back even from New Orleans, and I came back here, I was like, dang, it's still hot. Like, it was hot out there and humid, but you come out here, it was like still a big heat wave. So, it's a great place to be, man. There's no place like it. You got to say that. You have to admit that. So, it's great to see these players coming along. And look, it's just a cycle. What you're seeing is a cycle. L.A., we had a 4-year, 5-year spell of a down year or whatever. And for the Dodgers' sake, it's been a while. But now, this past season and this season right here, it's just like, wow, a lot of people are up and going. We just got to see those Angels get it together so we can have it all in one. Angels, the Kings, we can see all that.
The time's now.
Yes.
The time is now.
Yes.
The time is now, almost now for Manny Machado. It's not official yet, but according to USA Today Sports, the Baltimore Orioles will trade Manny Machado to the Dodgers tomorrow in return for cash and prospects. And by all accounts, it's not going to be extreme, breaking the bank. But here's the thing, Keith. He's a rental player.
Yeah.
They're not going to be willing to pay, I don't think, the price tag for Machado this offseason when you have the Yankees who are going to, have basically give their checkbook to Machado and have him write the check for himself.
Oh, yeah. And you know what's going to happen there because you definitely know the Yankees going to go. If the Yankees don't win it, first off, the Yankees don't win it this year. It's a failure to the team of what they have because they got the three-headed monsters up there.
I absolutely agree. Absolutely agree with that. No
doubt.
And
if it hypothetically, let's say the Yankees go after Machado, which who's not going to go after him? Everybody's going to go after him, and he signs with them. You have to start to think that it's really not about, you can have all these star players, but it's really is that the right thing to do? Is that the best formula that's going to put you in a better situation to win? We'll see. We'll yet to see. I mean, it's happened in the NBA circuit. It's happened with Golden State. But for baseball, is that the right formula needed to win a World Series? Because it goes back to even the Houston Astros Houston Astros, to me, when I watched them, I thought they were getting eliminated against before they even hit the Dodgers. And
in the ALCS, yes. I mean, they were down 3-2 to the Yanks.
I didn't think they was going to.
A lot of people thought they were down for the count.
They were down, and look, they didn't have all the star power players.
This is how I look at it. I've always thought in professional sports, doesn't matter if it's baseball, basketball, football, you name it, you got to have a good mix of both. You got to be able to take care of business of free agency, and you got to draft well.
Yeah, exactly.
I think that's the case for all sports. Now, with the Dodgers here, and that's a great point, Keith. You brought that up because it's been talked about a lot today as far as sports talk media goes, and I think if you're the Dodgers, you have to go all in and win.
Yeah.
You have to go all in and win. And to me, it's all about being able to put the best team on the field to be competitive every single year. That's the gold standard, is to be competitive every single year, to have a good mix of that. And I've never been a big believer in that, we can't make this move now because we don't want to mortgage. We're going to build towards next year. If you have an opportunity to do it here and now this season, you take advantage of that.
Exactly.
Now, with that being said, you can't give away the entire farm, and by all indications, they're not going to do so.
No.
And again, he's only going to be a rental, but if you can look, there's pressure with this team. There's pressure to get back, like you talked about, and to get over the hump this year and to win the whole thing. We all know that. That's been the expectation. World Series or bust since this team stepped foot in spring training back at the end of February, beginning of March.
Yeah.
That's what it's all about. Manny Machado, all you have to do is answer this simple question. Does Manny Machado going to the Dodgers make them a better team to win here and now in 2018? Yes. Yep. Right?
Yep.
Resounding yes.
Yep.
I don't think anyone's going to argue that one. So I'm in big favor of it. And again, he's probably not going to come here. Now, Maybe he has a change of mind, change of heart. If they win the World Series, maybe he wants to stay out here. Maybe he loves the lifestyle like most people do, and he wants to stay out here and doesn't want to go out of this vortex. We'll see. But at the here and now, you have to take advantage of it, and you have to give credit, obviously, to the Dodgers and the front office for being extremely aggressive. A lot of people didn't think they would do so. We had on various writers and bloggers back when Corey Seager went down at the beginning of May that basically were thinking they probably wouldn't pull the trigger on something like this. But here they are. I think you have to give them credit. It's not always easy when the other teams are holding the cards to make it happen. So obviously there's a lot of high-level baseball minds in that front office with the Dodgers. I like them being aggressive here.
Yeah, well, they have to. Like you said, they have to be if they want to win. And I think you take advantage of your opportunities when they come because they don't come too often. So you see the Dodgers making some good moves and making some. Look, like you said, it's a rental. We'll see what happens. You gotta bank on that, and if it worked, but if the Dodgers making this decision to do that, knowing that they're sitting in the West at the top right now, then they must know something we don't know, and what they probably know is like, look, he's gonna come out firing on all cylinders, and that's the thing you bank on is. This guy, is he going to be coming out, especially if he's a rental, he's got to be on all cylinders, firing on all cylinders on that point. Now, here's another situation. Does Machado feel the pressure now? Because now you're in L.A., it's a different mindset, it's a different breed. It's like going to play Philly fans and things like that. It's a certain pressure that you have to perform well in order to really be accepted.
He's playing for the worst team in baseball right now.
That's true. And you're absolutely right. However, he's also been a hotbed. I know how well he plays.
No question. The guy, he's 26, exactly. Right around there in the middle of his prime. I mean, the guy is playing lights out, but it's a great point, Keith.
Can he continue to play lights out? Now you're on the big stage. And that's what's going to be interesting because a lot of players – they can hold. That's what you start to see about players. Are they built for? In a smaller market, you really don't see as much. Now, when you got all the eyes on you, it's a different story. So, can he continue to perform well? Can he continue to handle that pressure and get through it? And if he can, then by all means, it's like, hey, the Dodgers themselves in a great situation. So we'll see.
Stu 2-1. American League on top. Once again, it's a tie all time. 43 wins for the AL, 43 for the NL. Who's going to break it tonight? I was at the All-Star game, Keith, back in 2010 in Anaheim. And that was a lot of fun. One of the coolest sporting events I was ever at. It's right up there with the Super Bowl, actually. It's a lot of fun. I have always personally enjoyed Major League Baseball's All-Star game. It's always been my favorite. Midsummer Classic. It's always got a special feel to it. It's always outdoors. So that adds to it as well. No one really cares about the Pro Bowl as much.
No, that's probably the weakest.
Yeah, and basketball and hockey are obviously inside.
Yeah.
So, baseball's got that outside feel to it, always special. And the thing I remember Larry King was down on the field before the game. I remember seeing him down there. A lot of celebrities, obviously, with it being out here in L.A. And that was the first year that the National League won in, forever. Since the late 90s, back in 2010. So nationally, or just overall, the All-Star game is a bucket list item. It's definitely a bucket list item. And it's always my favorite. Now, I'm still a little bitter over how they took it away, that it doesn't count anymore. I'm not going to lie about that. It was a lot of fun. And I know, obviously, on the broadcast, Joe Buck and John Smoltz, they have to play up the exhibition part. Now, especially last year down in Miami when they did different tributes. And that was kind of fun. Last year they honored the Latino, historical aspect of baseball down in Miami and the Cuban heritage of the game. And that was fun, but don't tell me that we're allowed to do these different things now. We can be more experimental. Obviously, mental with the All-Star game because it no longer counts.
Okay.
Don't tell me that.
Yeah.
I mean, we could have done all these different things, and miking up guys on the field, such as Mike Trout. They were talking to him when he was fielding the position out in center field during the action, and they couldn't do this stuff before. I don't really buy that. To me, that's more like the corporate line, and they're just tiptoeing and really just appeasing to the front office of Major League Baseball with that. So I'm still not a fan of them taking it away. I loved the fact that it counted. I love the drama. To me, it was great. Home field advantage in the World Series on the line. Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
To me, that was the best, and that's why I always think that Bud Selig can really hold his hat on that one all the time. As far as now, a lot of people weren't a fan of Bud Selig during his tenure as commissioner, but if there's anything he can hold his hat on, was that one. I thought it was great for the game, and honestly, I was a little sad to see it go, and I'm still not crazy about it. The game is still great, the All-Star game, but it's never going to be quite how it was, in my opinion, when you had that extra thing on the line there.
Yeah. You got a point. It's a strong point. But I mean, look, it's definitely a bucket list to me. Something I haven't. I've experienced going to baseball games all the time. I haven't experienced All-Star yet, and I would love to do that. I would love to experience. I'll tell you every All-Star game from baseball, except for the Pro Bowl. Because if I go to Hawaii, I go to Hawaii on vacation. I ain't watching no football. I'm sorry.
That's the only time.
Yeah.
That's pretty much the only time.
I mean, Pro Bowl, you got to do something about that, man. I'm sorry. I'm not knocking you football players, but damn, it's not the best.
I haven't taken any of my suggestions yet. I'd love to see a kicking contest.
Yeah,
almost like the equivalent of like the home run derby.
That would be fun. Skills challenge or some stuff. But, I've been All-Star for basketball is fantastic. It's a great time. It's a great time.
That's another great one.
In hockey, of course, I've never experienced that, but I don't know how great that is. I don't know. Like
they could promote it better.
Yeah, and
I could promote it a lot better.
You know what you think it is, Brad? I think it's not promoted the right way. That's all it is. Now the thing about the baseball is that they're in great ballparks. They're in great, like the venue alone. They put so much money into the venue. It's like a great experience. It could be, in Baltimore, Maryland, and just be like a beautiful ballpark with all this stuff that's going on. They just make it so much of like they just don't. I think basketball probably is probably the most. I think what it is and why is because I think the entertainers that come in and do the concerts and things like that, they kind of bring that aspect to it. And
out of the four, I think that one has evolved the most from like a cultural standpoint, like you said, entertainment wise. Yeah. Baseball is still America's pastime.
Exactly.
It's the 89th All-Star game. I believe that's the longest running All-Star game out of the four. So it almost sells itself in a way. They're not trying to reinvent the wheel. Nothing has changed. But you're right. It's the middle of summer. It's warm out. Everyone's in a good mood usually, and it's an easy one to sell.
Exactly. And I think it would catapult to the top if entertainers are there. If you think about it, it would catapult. Just think about it, like All-Star game in New York, an All-Star game in the bigger, more marketplaces in L.A. Miami's great too. Don't get me wrong; that'd be a great place as well. But those three major cities, Boston too as well, is in there. If you have in the summertime too, and have these celebs, so to speak, entertainers, things like that come down and perform and stuff, it just turns it to a whole nother level. Because think about it. When you go to L.A. and watch these games like the Dodger games now, I mean, you'll see a few celebrities. I mean, the Lakers use it as a recruitment tool.
Yes.
Thanks to the Magic Man.
It doesn't matter. Like I told you, Keith, I went to that game at the beginning of the season when this team looked like they were down and out.
Yeah.
It looked like it was Game 7 of the World Series all over again.
Exactly.
You wouldn't even know. Guys and gals just going crazy in the stands.
Exactly.
I mean, like rally towels, at that point, you wouldn't know they were like 10 games below 500.
No.
So you're right. It doesn't matter. And like you said, certain figures in the front office of some of these LA teams, like Magic Johnson, like you said right there, that sells it enough. And Magic Johnson was good for a big-time free agent.
Yeah.
That would be LeBron James.
Yeah.
Who we're going to talk about coming up after the break. It's still 2-1 as they play in the middle of the 7th. 89th All-Star Game, American League on top. It's Behind the Mic. We're back and better than ever tonight, live from Patrick Malloy's in Hermosa Beach.
There's a threat targeting America. One that's growing fast, but may still be hard to see. Lyme disease. Spread by tiny ticks, often smaller than the head of a pin. This dangerous disease is now more widespread than West Nile, tuberculosis, and HIV/AIDS combined. And if left untreated, it can lead to arthritis, facial paralysis, and even memory and concentration problems, often called brain fog. As the threat of Lyme disease grows to more than 300,000 projected cases each year, it's time for us to target Lyme disease. That means checking your tick when you've been outside, even in your own backyard. It means seeing a doctor if you experience the symptoms of Lyme disease, which can include joint pain, flu-like symptoms, fever, fatigue, or sometimes a bullseye-shaped rash. Set your sights on stopping Lyme. Learn how you can target Lyme disease at targetlyme.org. Brought to you by the Stephen and Alexander Cohen Foundation and this station.
Every 17 minutes, Make a Wish makes the impossible possible. They tame dragons. They bring Saturn to Earth. They help superheroes save entire cities. They even make unicorns fly. All to give children the strength they need to fight their critical illnesses. Every wish takes muscle. Help us make sure every wish comes true. Join us at wish.org.
Hi, I'm Danica Patrick and proud aunt. Watching my nieces grow, play, and learn is amazing. But not every child gets to be carefree. 1 in 6 kids in the U.S. are hungry. 1 in 6. That little girl sitting alone at the playground, she can't play like the other kids. She doesn't have the energy because she's hungry. School lunch will be her only meal today. It breaks my heart that this is the reality in our country, but it's something that Feeding America is working to change. Each year, the Feeding America network of food banks rescues billions of pounds of good food that would have gone to waste. This food is then provided to families and children in need. Being a kid should be about using your imagination, learning, and having fun. These children shouldn't have to miss out on simply being a kid because they're hungry. To find out how you can help end childhood hunger in your community, visit feedingamerica.org.
Brought to you by Feeding America and the Ad Council.
Battles aren't won solely on the field. That's a common misconception. Battles are won within, over enemies of fear, enemies of doubt. In that place where promises are kept. Promises to oneself.
This is a physical training event!
Promises to one's community.
Helping people move debris out of their house.
Promises to one's country. In the heart of every Marine, you'll find a promise. A promise forever kept. A promise of battles won.
Dave, what are you doing?
Just sending a gift to Dave 2037.
Who?
Me in the future. I save a little money from every paycheck as a gift to Dave 2037, so he can spend it on things like anti-gravity boots or a hologram Doberman, something cool like that. I think Dave 2037 deserves it. He worked hard. What are you getting Steve 2037?
I guess I was thinking Steve 2037 would just fend for himself.
Well, all right, but don't expect to be borrowing my anti-gravity boots.
You want to have money in your future? You got to start saving now. Putting some money from every paycheck into a savings account or contributing to your 401k can make a big difference later. Put away a few bucks, feel like $1 million. For free ideas and easy ways to save, go to feedthepig.org. That's feedthepig.org.
Hey, let's just hope Steve 2037 doesn't get his hands on a cold time machine, because he is going to come back here and knock some sense into you.
This message brought to you by the American Institute of Certified Public Accountants and the Ad Council.
We will never fully understand what we've asked of our military service members or their families, asking them to put themselves in harm's way, to endure it all. But we do understand that it's our turn, our duty, to keep them secure for the rest of their lives. Wounded Warrior Project long-term support programs help our most severely ill or injured veterans live independently, at no cost for life, so that they might stand at ease. Join us at findwwp.org.
You're listening to Behind the Mic with Brad Dalius.
All right.
Welcome back behind the mic. We are live here at just an awesome crowd at Patrick Malloy. It's great to be back after a 2-week hiatus. And lots going on once again. We got the All-Star game intact. We were talking about that before the break. Dodgers, Manny Machado sweepstakes. It looks like he's coming to L.A. That'll be finalized tomorrow. 2-2, by the way. The National League just tied it up with a solo home run here, it looks like, by Story. And we have a game keep going into the 8th inning, so we'll keep tabs on that one.
Hey, let's just say this. How many innings does this go?
Does it go extra innings tonight? Oh, yeah. I could see that. Let's say it goes 13.
12.
We just had Friday the 13th, so.
Ooh. I'm going to say 12. I was going with 12. I'm looking at number 12, so I don't think 12 innings. We'll see.
It'll be fun to watch.
12, 13, okay.
This is what you want, though. You want the drama.
Yeah.
2-2. Do you like it better when we have these close, like, low-scoring games?
Yeah, man.
Or, like, high-scoring?
No, I like low.
You like low-scoring?
I like competitive. Like, that's the thing about the NBA when we were talking about the All-Star game and they made the different moves and we talked about this, is making it more competitive. Now you have to do that for the simple fact our power is on the west side. It's on the west, and there's nothing in the east. If you could go back to an east and west team in the All-Star game, the west is going to kill them by like 80.
It wouldn't even be competitive.
It would not be competitive at all.
You wouldn't need to watch it at all. But that's a good segue, Keith, because we got to get into some NBA news, and we got to talk about LeBron because it seemed like it was like a million years ago now that LeBron officially inked the dotted line to sign with Cole. But he does what
Came to royalty.
Yeah, most people thought this would happen a year ago. I think the chatter started. The big-time chatter started about a year ago. And all throughout the last season, it looked like he was going to go here. There were some moments where we weren't sure. Maybe there was a little doubt at the end. A lot of people tried to play up. I don't know if you've noticed this one in the media. A lot of people tried to play up the Cleveland angle.
Yeah.
Maybe he goes back to Cleveland. Gilbert is not really a Cleveland guy. He's a Detroit guy. Maybe LeBron's some stake or just flat-out ownership, sole ownership in the team one day. That was really being played up for big-time purposes.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, though, Magic Johnson was at his front door at 9:01 p.m. Pacific time, 12:01 Eastern, when free agency officially began. There was no doubt. He had this decided a long time ago, Keith. You have sources that seem to basically
insinuate that.
Yeah, exactly, right? They seem to pretty much say that it was almost a done deal as well. And, it really was. It was just a matter of the meeting.
Yeah.
The meeting between those two. Now, apparently, it was reported that it was the first time the two of them
had ever met
in person, or just like an official sit down.
I think it was not in person,
just like an official sit down.
Yeah, He's never sat across Magic Johnson and met with him. But like I said, man, I initially thought Miami was a place, a stopping ground for him, where he was going to stay.
I sure can't forget about South Beach. That was
South Beach was in there, but once I heard the news from some people that I know. And I know they're pretty legit people, and they work with him. Then I was like, all right, he's coming to L.A. Make sure you get your season tickets. It was crazy because I told my sister, I said, I told her, I said, it's time for you to go get your tickets. You need to go. She was like, why? I was like, LeBron's coming. She was like, it hasn't been announced yet. I was like, I know. Like, he's coming. She said, I'm going right now.
She actually doubted you?
She said, I'm going right now.
She doesn't know your contacts?
She doesn't know.
Come on.
So she goes.
That's a violation on your sister.
Exactly. But this is the funny thing. She goes in there. A box seat that she usually gets season was about $3,000. Okay, she paid $3,000 for those, right? She called me back. She said, Keith, looks like I'm going to be watching it from the television this year. I was like, why? She was like, they're starting $10,000. I said, well, that's a note that they are going to. LeBron is coming, right? So there you go. And the reason why they jack up the prices and everything like that is because, number one, you got to remember, Lakers has a big deal with Spectrum. They have a big, huge deal, that Laker Network deal. And they were living off the Kobe days for a while with that. I mean, that whole thing why Kobe was getting his money was because he was like, look, I just got you a new TV deal and all this stuff, you know?
Yeah, so those days were running on life support.
And hey, man, you can't be running no more old school Kobe's no more. You know, that ship has sailed. So it was very, very important for the Lakers to get him, which Magic Johnson has delivered and signed his deal. And the Magic Man wouldn't say what he came out and said. He would not have said, if I can't make nothing happen the next 2 years, then I'm going to step down. That's telling you Magic already knew from the get-go that I'm allowed to land LeBron.
Yeah, he was confident. This is what he was brought in to do.
Yeah.
This is exactly. He was brought in to sign LeBron James as a free agent in the summer of 2018.
Yes.
And that's what he did.
And then it's been a domino effect. Now, there's one person I'm going to get on right now.
Okay.
That's Mr. Paul George, a guy who is from L.A., a guy who went to Palmdale High School, a guy who lives in L.A., and his family lives in L.A., he told Magic that I want to come to the Lakers. It told the media I want to go back home to L.A. And matter of fact, got Magic Johnson a fine, not once, but twice.
That's true. They had to pay a lot of money because of that.
And at the last minute, you didn't even give the Lakers a meeting? Not a meeting. You go back to OKC at a party that Russell Westbrook has put on for you to say, I'm coming back. So what?
It's all about the money. Win. It's all about the cash.
For some extra dollars. Look,
I think
what cash he was going to get. Let's think about what Paul George would have get when he got in L.A. More opportunity. LeBron James, not only does LeBron James come here and he doesn't take all this money that Chris Paul is taking. Now you see what's going on in Houston. They're not even in top. I'm going to say this. They're not even top 5. But back to what I'm saying. That LeBron takes just what he needs, but he says, you know what? I got my TV deals that I got endorsement deals. I get more TV deals out here now. And Paul George, you mean to tell me you weren't going to get that in L.A.? You are from here. Nobody's going to slide you a commercial here and there. Nobody's going to slide you a little movie cameo deal. Nobody's going to slide you a little, LeBron play with LeBron. LeBron's going to put me as a little EP on this. We're going to do a little movie doing each other. You mean to tell me that wouldn't have happened? You go to OKC. What's in OKC? Now, knocking OKC people out there. I love y'all out there. However, you're a guy who's from L.A. who has said, didn't even give them a meeting. At least have the audacity to give a meeting to the L.A. Lakers.
Yeah, that was shocking. If nothing else, that was shocking. But the one thing he wouldn't have got, Keith, you're right, he would have gotten all that and more coming to L.A.
Yeah.
The thing he wouldn't have got $240 million.
That's true. But you know what?
And I think the Lakers dodged a huge bullet. $240 million for a guy who, at his very, very best, Keith, is borderline B plus A minus. He's not a top 5, top 10 player. He's a top 25, top 20 player. But for $240 million over, 4 or 5 years?
Yeah,
you've got to be kidding me. There's no way I'm opening up my pockets to that.
Yeah.
Not that much.
Like
he's not. He's not LeBron James.
He's not.
And I mean, LeBron James didn't even get that much.
I'm gonna say this, man. I'm just saying this. He deserves to get booed when he comes to LA. For the
that's fair.
For the simple fact,
that's definitely fair.
For the simple fact, PG-13, that if you didn't want to come to LA, just don't say you didn't want to come. Just say. But what did I say, Brad? At the beginning of that, at the end of his end season, what did I say? He said, "I knew there was something about that." He said, "I would like to be a Thunder." In quotes, I would like to be a Thunder, but we'll see where the chips may fall.
Yeah, you took those words to heart.
Yes.
And very seriously. I did not. I thought it was just talk, saying the right thing at the right time, appeasing the organization, the franchise there in OKC. I didn't think there was a whole lot of stock in that. Yeah. Apparently, I was very wrong, and there was a whole lot more to it than a lot of people thought.
Yeah.
And he goes back to a team that I have been very critical of. You know that?
Yep,
I think they've plateaued with Russell Westbrook. Westbrook is a phenomenal player, and he could very easily have won the MVP in the last couple consecutive seasons.
Yeah.
He was, a very worthy recipient of it. And we all know he broke the Big O's triple-double record a couple seasons ago.
Yep.
And he's just a phenomenal player, but that doesn't necessarily mean that he's a great team player.
Exactly.
And the team hasn't won there. They've tried different combinations, whether it be with Kevin Durant with Westbrook, James Harden with Westbrook, Paul George with Westbrook last year, Carmelo Anthony. It just hasn't worked there. And that type of... look, Billy Donovan was a phenomenal college coach in Florida, 2 national championships. I think he's a okay NBA head coach. I think he's a good NBA head coach, but in all fairness here, to keep it objective, he got totally outcoached by Quinn Snyder.
Yeah.
And with Utah, when they played each other in the playoffs.
Let's be real.
I don't think he's ready for prime time.
Let's be real, though, about this. Russell Westbrook made it about him and about him defending Ricky Rubio because of the performance he played the previous game. And that's what I'm saying about Russell that I don't like, man. Look, you an L.A. native. I roll with the locals, man. I'm an L.A. guy. However, Russell has always been about Russell. And that's what you saw in that game. He made it about him and Ricky Rubio. Well, Ricky Rubio didn't make it about him and Russell. Ricky Rubio didn't even engage into the media saga of that. He kind of just continued to play this game. It was fortunate he got hurt and injured and he couldn't continue that series because I think that it would be a different outcome. But for the following series against the Houston Rockets. But when I look at things and what's going on with that team, you know what Russell Westbrook needs? He needs a player like Ricky Rubio on his team who's not going to look to score and is going to look to distribute. And Paul George is a scorer just like him. He needs the ball in his hands. And that's just not going to work. And you see why Carmelo OKC had to get Carmelo out because it just didn't have the money. And that's just really what it was. And that's what I'm saying. You go to a team that's in a whole disarray, which just doesn't make any sense to me. But you know what, Paul George, that's what you want to do. It's your prerogative. You got your money, whatever. I get it. Fine. Go get your money. But I'm going to tell you, the Laker land, man, looks good, Brad. That they look good. They do. They look good what they have already. You got Paul George. That's probably, not Paul George. You got Kawhi Leonard that wants to come to the Lakers. I think the Lakers, everybody say the Spurs have the upper hand and all that. I think the Lakers do. I think the Lakers don't need to do anything. They have enough right now with the Rajon Rondo, this Lance Stevenson coming in. And then you got Josh Hart playing out his mind, who was named Summer MVP right now. Lonzo was to the following year, but when I look at the pieces and the additions that they have, and with LeBron James, JaVale McGee,
you were definitely advocate for
that should have deserved a little bit more playing time. I'm glad JaVale came over to the Lakers because he's looking to start. I think he would do a great thing. And look, LeBron doesn't want to play the same type of game that he played in Cleveland. He wants somebody like a Rajon Rondo to run the point, who's smart, has a high IQ. You got a lot of high IQ guys out there who are playing for the Lakers team. You got a new Lance Stevens who's just like a Ron Artest.
And there's no doubt, you talk about high IQ basketball players, there's no doubt LeBron made that a top priority speaking with Magic Johnson when they spoke at his home. No doubt he can cite right back to the example of the NBA Finals Game 1 with J.R. Smith and that blunder right there.
Yes.
High-quality basketball players is what you need. Love the direction they're going right now with that.
I love that, and let me tell you this. This is one thing I have to say is when you look at the point guard basketball league competition right now, we had talked about this off the air a little bit, but Rajon Rondo, you got to give him the nod for the simple fact that he's a champion. His basketball IQ, he makes everybody on the team better. And then on top of that, I'm going with Josh Hart. Why? Because Josh Hart is capable of putting up 30 a game. Why? Because Josh Hart can knock down a three-point shot. And you can't double off of Josh Hart. And he makes smart decisions, and you see what he's averaging. Lonzo, he's a good IQ. He makes the right decisions. But number one, you got a little bigger, but you got an injury. Number two, you still can't knock down a 15-footer consistent. And then you don't look to – you're not he's not that killer type of player. You got LeBron James, who had kind of molded into that. He kind of grew into it. He wasn't that. Kobe was he was it.
Absolutely, from day one.
Kyle Kuzma reminds Kobe's even said Kyle Kuzma kind of reminds him of himself. Kyle Kuzma, he's a killer. He's a shark. Josh Hart's shark. He wants the ball in his hand at the end of the game.
Exactly.
Lonzo's the type of passive dude, kind of like a LeBron type of player. You don't need that right now.
No, you don't.
And if Rajon's there to be kind of molding or mentoring Lonzo, and LeBron is going to mentor Lonzo, I think you can't put your time in that. I think you got to put your time in the guys that there. Like Josh Hart is that Josh Hart's knocking on that door. He's like, look, I'm coming for the taking. I'm coming for it, and you can tell he's doing it. So, dude, look, to me, in my eyes, I'm gonna say this to everybody: Lakers top 2 in the West right now.
They're right there. We all just seem to kind of forget that when you just have LeBron James, doesn't matter who you have on the rest of your team, you're already instantly going to propel yourself several spots up next to the conference. They've done everyone they've got right now. If they do nothing else, they're already way better than that Cleveland team in the finals.
Exactly.
Way better. I think they did a really good job here. I mean, really home run with Rajon Rondo. I love the acquisition of him. They let Isaiah Thomas walk to the Nuggets. I was totally fine with that.
Classic too. That's a classic move.
It was. It totally was. And
that man needs more money, though, Brad.
Thomas
needs more money. He deserves it. It's messed up. I'll say this. It's messed up what Boston did to him.
It is.
It really is.
We talked a lot about this when the Lakers acquired him during the regular season from Cleveland, and absolutely he needs to and kind of get back because this guy was fifth Keith in MVP voting just a couple of seasons ago.
Thank you.
I mean, this is a guy who's got it within him and can absolutely have a rebound year next year in Denver. So I think we have not heard the last from Isaiah Thomas. The Lakers decided to go in a different direction. I think all Lakers fans understand that. And they got a guy in Rondo who, although with the regular season last year, we saw turned it on and showed his true colors in the postseason with the Pelicans. That's the type of player he is, like we saw. And if he can give the Lakers just anything close to that, they'll be great. And I think he should start to begin the season.
I'm with you with that. He definitely has to start. He's a starter. I mean, say what? He's a starter. Rajon Rondo is a starter, has been a starter all his career. And I think that's a mistake that the Chicago Bulls made when they had him. It's not starting him. That was ridiculous what they're doing. And I was just like, not to hurt anybody's feelings. Magic Johnson ain't thinking about feelings. He's thinking about one thing, winning. And it ain't going to be that. It's
just win, baby.
It's about winning. They will give Golden State a run for their money, but they ain't beat Golden State no series, not with the addition of Boogie Cousins. And I'll even say, even without Boogie Cousins, they still not going. Lakers still not going to beat them in a 7 game, but they'll take them to 6.
And Cousins might as well take an extended vacation before the season because he's not even going to see the court until 2019.
Golden State ain't playing with that. That's the thing about Boogie. Boogie's going to fall in line with what they do because they're going to say, look, Boogie, take your time. You're here. Take your time. We're not going to rush you. We can handle all this. We just need you for the postseason. We're fine.
If Golden State is healthy and, they can continue to grow into next year and eventually into the 2019 playoffs, if everything comes along their way with Boogie Cousins and if he gets healthy again, he gets inserted back in the lineup, like you said, he's just going to fall in line naturally. If everything goes according to plan, they will actually, in my opinion, Golden State will have a easier path to the finals next year than they had this past year to more so resemble, believe it or not, 2017's playoff run for the Warriors. As scary as that is to think, but that's what they're looking at right now.
And the difference is their mindset that they have. These guys' mindset on their team. Of course, they want their money, but they have taken cut because they want their mindset is winning championships and stuff. So people are thinking next year we have addition to grab Klay Thompson over there. It all depends. I think the Lakers has put themselves in a race to grab Klay Thompson next year. I think they kind of put themselves in that situation. But again, if they keep winning championships, then I think that's going to change. That's going to change a lot of things. That's not going to happen. I think that those guys are like, we're not about the money. We're about the rings, and we're going to get the money eventually. So we'll see. We'll definitely see. I'm glad we got JaVale McGee out. But it's going to be an interesting year. It's going to be an exciting year for the Laker fans out there. You got LeBron James. Everybody got the jerseys out there. It's going to be interesting. It's going to be a lot of fun.
How about the fact that LeBron's jersey sales were a lot higher in the first 10 hours or so once he became a Laker than they were last time around when he came back the second time with Cleveland in 2014.
I'll say this. does LeBron James' jersey pass Steph Curry this next season? That's going to be tough.
Oh, that's going to be real close.
That's going to be close.
That'll be fun to see that race.
That's going to be a fun race because you got a lot of LeBron James fans that kind of jump on that bandwagon like, oh, we're with the Lakers now.
Of course, that was coming.
They're coming. So, it's going to be interesting to see. And you got to look at this. Now, LeBron James for many years has been the villain for the simple fact that he's left. He left and went to Miami. He came back. Now he's at the Lakers. Is Golden State now considered? Well, Golden State's been the villain since KD came in. Does LeBron James be that? Is he going to be a ridiculed type of player still? He went to the Lakers, or is that going to be KD?
I think it's still Kevin Durant. I think it's still Durant because some people just will never give up on that. I mean, look at Keith. I've come across Twitter accounts and social media accounts where people, their bio. Now, granted, these are people who obviously have clearly a ton of time in their hands. Is some of their bio reads something to the effect of Kevin Durant joined a 73-win Golden State Warriors team.
Yeah.
I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like this is what we're dealing with some people and their opinions on this and where they're at. So I don't think there's always going to be a group that never gives Durant the benefit of the doubt. It's always going to be against him. So at this point, I think with LeBron, you've got so many people who really like LeBron, and it's a very small percentage of people who are still hating on him. You know what I mean? Yeah. There's a very small percentage of people who are still upset at him with the 2010 decision.
Yeah.
I mean, that ship has sailed for so many people, and I think because of that, because so many people have moved on, I think a lot of people will definitely root for LeBron and the Lakers next year a lot. And like you said, whether it be bandwagon fans or just people who are just casual basketball fans, and they'll especially root for, I think, LeBron when they go up against Golden State next year, whenever that may be. We know it'll happen in the regular season for sure, and if they happen to go up against each other in the postseason, I think a lot of people will pull for LeBron and the Lakers there. But here's my big thing, kind of my last take with LeBron coming to the Lakers, and you just had people who were scratching their heads, Keith, even like 48 hours, 24 hours before the July 1st start of free agency there. Mm-hmm. They were scratching their heads. They're like, why does LeBron want to go to a Lakers team that is subpar, average at their very best on a good day with this team, and with all these young guys, so much drama with the Ball family and Lonzo with some injury history, especially with that. You got to love how they leaked that injury news about Lonzo there right around the draft.
LeVar did. LeVar.
You got to love how that was leaked.
Yes.
So, but my thing, like, I couldn't believe, like, some people just don't get it. And I was really amazed at how so many people just were scratching their heads and didn't understand it.
Yeah.
Because they were like, why would he go there? He should go to Houston or he should go to San Antonio. But again, like we made the case before, if it was just all about championships, he would have signed with Golden State. If it was all about championships, he would have signed with the Warriors. It was never about it's never. He's not. Look, he's 3-6 in the finals.
Yeah.
He's not going to get to 6-6 or 7-6. That's not going to happen. At this point in his career, it's obviously about the off the court stuff, like we've talked about.
Yes.
LA
Family.
has all that. Family, the family wanted to be here. You couple all those things together, and if they're able to win a championship in the 4 years that he signed with them, that's a cherry on top of the sundae at the end of the day. Yeah. Because, like I've said before, the best case that he can make for GOAT status at the end of the day, and his best case to go up there in the category with Jordan and Kobe, because I still put Kobe up there.
Thank you.
I know you do too as well.
Thank you.
The best case that he can make is, at the end of the day, if he wins a championship with the Lakers, he can say, I'm LeBron James and I won a championship in 3 different cities. Who else can say that? Yep. That's his best argument at this point in time. It's just not all about the championships, and so many people are missing that point, Keith, and it amazed me. I'm sure some people are coming around now since it's been 2 weeks or so since he made the announcement he's coming here, but that just amazed me the most because it's just not about championships every single year. Again, if that was the case, he would have went to Golden State. It never made any sense for him really to go to Houston and San Antonio, and he never, by all accounts, had any intentions of that.
Yeah.
So, and just like he never really had any intentions of going to the Sixers, although people in Philly want to make it sound like they were a very close second, Keith. I will say that. Being in Philly recently, they really, well, I don't know if you saw the president for the Sixers put it out there after he signed with the Lakers that he signed with the Lakers, he said, we were close. We were close. We were a close second.
Yeah, okay. They were no close second.
They made it sound like they were like neck and neck in the horse race.
It didn't even make any sense for him to go to Philly.
He took a courtesy meeting at the last minute. A courtesy meeting with the Sixers
because Ben Simmons is there and they have the same agent. That's why he took the courtesy meeting. Come on.
You can draw the comparisons at home.
Yeah, Houston, it was never happening.
No.
Chris Paul took all that money.
Oh yeah, no, he banked clearly with that deal. Real quick, Carmelo Anthony, should the Lakers even touch him with like a 10-foot pole?
Oh, no. I don't think you need him.
Are his best days behind him?
His best days are. Carmelo wants to come and start, and he don't want to come. He wants to come off the bench. He doesn't want to come off the bench. I think Carmelo's best bet, because of the off the court issues with him and Lala, and he loves Lala and all this stuff. I think his best bet is to go back to New York. I think he should go back to New York and be there with Lala and just go that route and continue in his career. Because
I don't think people in New York could take it.
I don't know.
I don't think their heart could take it.
Yeah, I mean, he wants to start though, and that's the problem. He's not going to start on the Lakers. You know, he's not going to. I don't know. I mean, what do you do? He could be there for mentorship. For sure, mentor Kyle Kuzma and stuff like that, but
he doesn't want to do that.
He doesn't want to do that. If he wants to win a if you want to win a championship, go to Golden State. Go to Golden State. They're gonna pick you up for the league minimum, and they can do that. They got the room to do it. Why not? I mean, look, it's what people go chastise Carmelo Anthony because he went to Golden State.
Of course they will.
I mean, Carmelo has in many years, he's on the back end of his career. He has won gold medals. He's been the top 5 player in the league for many years. He's not anymore, but he has for many years. I mean, man, he don't want to be like a Carmelo without a ring, Charles Barkley.
The problem with Carmelo is that his best days in the NBA were in Denver.
Yeah.
And when he went to New York, where the lights are the absolute brightest, Keith,
he couldn't handle it.
He did not play up to the level of expectations.
But
that's what's going to define him ultimately. It's not fair, but
that's
at the end
what
of the day, that's what they're going to judge him to.
That's why he should go to someone like a Golden State, because he's going to be foreshadowed by those players. He's going to be like when he's with Team USA. You know, his Team USA, he was a leader at one point. At one point in time, he kind of teetered off, and then he was just like the random guy. Why not? Why not go after that? Look, I think he wouldn't care about starting it with the Golden State. He wouldn't care because they know he can't start for no KD. Come off the bench, it's a different situation. Go to the State, go Carmelo.
If you want to get your ring, that's the place to sign up for.
Exactly.
How about that memes for Adam Silver signing up with the Golden State Warriors signed Commissioner Adam Silver to an NBA contract? That was great. So many memes, obviously.
That was great.
That will do it tonight from Patrick Malloy's. Once again, new time for us, 7 to 8 Pacific, Tuesday through Thursday. Don't forget the big debut on 790 AM KBC here in L.A., less than 3 weeks away, Monday, August the 6th, 11 to 12 at night. Write it down. Put it in your phone. That will be the new home of Behind the Mic in just about 20 days now or so. We're totally stoked for that. We can't wait. Lots to come. Tomorrow night we're going to chat with Luke Norris from Fansided.com and preview the British Open from across the pond, taking place later this week. Tiger, Phil, how are they going to look? How are the rest of the field going to look? We'll talk about that and more tomorrow night from Grunyon's in Manhattan Beach. For Keith, I'm Brad. Keep living the dream.
Here this summer, man.